Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio and welcome back. Today we're going to do the 50 stack challenge 4 and for those of you that are new, the 50 stack challenge is hosted by Amy at Crafty Cat. And every week she draws, I'm trying to get something that's gonna keep that reflection off of you guys. There, we'll use that. That's a terrible color, but it's better than the light reflecting. She draws out 2 prompts on Monday, and you're to make 2 pieces of ephemera using each of the prompts. This is her 4th challenge, and in this particular challenge, the prompts are based on journal themes, although you can do whatever you want. She kind of made her list based on different kinds of journals that you could make. So this week's prompts were butterfly and coffee. And so I'm going to make a couple of pieces for those. And I'm going to do butterfly first because my coffee prompt has a story. And I want to tell you that story. I think it's fascinating. So for my butterfly prompt, I'm going to show you guys how to alter just a little. This is just a little notebook that has some paper, lined paper on the inside that you can journal in or make list or do whatever with. And it's got like a craft cover on it, and it is sewn. It is actually stitched right down the middle. So it's a pretty good quality little notebook. And I want to kind of jazz up the cover. So I'm going to do that and use the butterfly prompt. I think this would make a really cute little gift for somebody. Rather than just a regular old notebook like this that says choose happy on it, which is fine, but I think as junk journalers, we can do better than that, right? So I just have a digital that I have kind of cut to fit the front. And it's got kind of a teal and cream color, and I'm inking around the edges. And let me do this one, and then I'm going to ink around the craft stock as well, because I do have it cut just a little bit shorter, and I want it to look just a little grungy, not as grungy as I normally would do, but I want it to have a more vintage look. And you could vintage up the papers on the inside of this as well. I have done that before, like kind of ink, like got the pages like this. I'll just show you real quick. And just kind of did this on the edges so that they don't look as new. It gives a little bit more character. You could also, if you were going a more fancy look, you could take like some gilding wax or something like that and, make it have gold edges or whatever you wanted. Okay, so that gives it a little bit more, and you kind of have to, flip through. Otherwise, all the pages aren't going to look old. But if you look at it from the outside, you know, it looks like that they're older and they have turned. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is just glue this down on here. And I'm just going to use a glue stick. I think that's going to work fine because this is, like I said, craft stock, so it should hold the glue stick really well. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. I'm filming this on Thursday, and so my Friday's not here yet, but my Thursday is very rainy and stormy, and I think it's going to be that way for the next 3 or 4 days, so yeah. Should get a lot of crafting done because we're definitely not going to get much done outside. So I'm going to glue that, and then I have a piece cut for the back as well. Put that on. And I left just a little bit of the craft showing all the way around, but you don't have to do that. But I like to do that so you can see what the original substrate looked like. And then I have another little piece of scrap that I'm going to ink. I'm not going to ink with my glue stick though. That wouldn't work, would it? And I'm going to put that on the edge. This is just a misprint that I had thrown in my scrap bin. So I'm going to put this on here. Just like that. Okay. And then I have some lace that I'm going to run right down through there. And it has been coffee dyed. It was originally whiter than this. Get that piece of paper off my finger. And I'm going to use Fabri-Tac for that. Sorry, I'm sliding all over the place. That's why I don't like to put anything on my glass mat, because it slides everywhere. I guess I should get one of those craft mat things that won't slide. But I don't use the light on my camera, phone, whatever you want to call it, very often. But it's pretty dark today, so I was afraid that my room light wasn't enough. get my excess glue off there so it doesn't make any little shiny spots. Make sure that's all straight. Okay, now we're going to get to the actual butterfly. So I'm going to use one of my vellum butterflies that I alcohol stained. I think this is the last one, so I need to make some more. I'm going to put this piece of music paper on here, I think. And I have a butterfly. And then I have a piece of wax paper. And then I have this little flower, which is actually off some ribbon. It's a big roll of ribbon, and it has these individual flowers on it. I'm sure you've seen it. But I cut one off, and I made it a little smaller because it was too big around, I thought, for this little bitty notebook. And then I have this, which is just a label, and I have stamped the word journal on there. And I'm going to put it right down here at the bottom. Kind of like that. So, let's use glue stick for the label. And the journal stamp is by Creative Expressions. And I don't know what the name of it is, but it looks like this. It has all kinds of different words: art, travel, daybook, planner, notes, trip, needle book. So, and that's the journal up there. So it's pretty cool little stamp if you want words like that. All right, so now I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac and glue my wax paper and my flower on. Oops. And this is eyelash trim that's on the back of this that I just kind of balled up. And I sprayed the flower with just some coffee and just a little bit of spray, Tim Holtz spray, oxide, and oh my goodness, speckled egg. I didn't think it was going to come to me for a minute. Just to give it just a little bit of this color tint. I just kind of squished it one time, then sprayed some water and sprayed some coffee, just because these are pretty white on the ribbon roll. So it was too white to put on there. Lily. Sorry, having to call down the fur baby. She's been outside and like I said, it's wet, and so I have to call her down for licking her legs because she will lick them raw. Okay, and glue this down. On here, move that over. I don't want it hanging over this edge. Maybe move it down just a little. All right, so there is that one, and then I'm going to put this little clip on here and clip it right there to hold it shut. And you can go one step further, you know, which I won't do in this since we're doing, you know, just ephemera. But you could cover inside here. You could put a pocket in there if you wanted. You could put an envelope for storing receipts. You know, whatever you'd like. And then you've got a cute little notebook that you can drop in your bag and take with you. And you could even put one of the pencil or pen holder paper clips on there. I believe I have a video on how to make those, where they just clip on the edge and they have a little loop on the side and you can put a pin down in there. So, yeah, really cute. Okay, so now let's do coffee. So I am not a coffee drinker, and my husband drinks 1 cup of coffee a day, so we're not huge coffee people, and I knew that I did not have anything coffee, you know, in my stash as far as looking like coffee or whatever. Well, then I ran across this book I have, and the name of the book is actually Coffee Made Her Insane. And what it is it is a book that tells stories that are true, and has advertisements in it from like the late 1700s through about the 1930s, 1940s, somewhere in that period. And it's all the craziness that people believed, and ads that were, you know, just outrageous during the times. So one of the stories in here, in this book, is called Coffee Made Her Insane. And so, as I'm making this is going to be a journal card. I'm going to tell you this story, and you guys will, I hope, get as much kick out of hearing this story as I did reading it. So, in the 1890s, there was a woman, and her name was Johanna Lindbergh. And apparently she had this horrible addiction to coffee. So much so that she drank 20 quarts of coffee a day. 20 quarts. Can you imagine drinking that much coffee? She drank it very strong, as strong as you could make it. and she actually kept the pot on all day long because she didn't want to have to wait for the coffee to get done. She just wanted to have it there so that she could continually pour cups of coffee and drink it. Well, apparently she was a, sorry, I'm going to smush this down with my little, okay, a very large boned and muscular woman, and she tried to kill her husband. And so when the sheriff came to arrest her, she, I guess, struggled with him, and he couldn't handle her by himself, and they ended up getting several officers involved, and finally arrested her and took her to jail, where she remained, you know, pretty violent as they booked her. And so the newspaper got wind of this, and so they wrote an article and published it in the paper, and this article is what is in this book, the newspaper article. But basically it tells the story of her, you know, that coffee made her crazy, and they called her a coffee drunkard, and said that the way she was acting was worse than someone that was addicted to morphine. And then they're talking about the next day, after she had been in the jail overnight, and they took her to her probation hearing or whatever they had the next day, that she was perfectly calm and, you know, very subdued. And they took her into court, and what ended up happening is they determined that she was crazy, and they committed her to an insane asylum, and that's where she remained for the rest of her life, and died, you know, in the asylum. So the newspaper and everyone else was convinced that the coffee is what made her lose her mind. And so this is the actual article that was printed in the paper. She was from Rochester. So I'm going to put this on the front. And in the book, there's a blown-up version of this. And then this is her actual medical record from the insane asylum. And that's her picture, and it's really small. You can't really see it. But I have a Tim Holtz. No, it's not a Tim Holtz. It is from Tracy Fox's crime digital. And it is perfect, I think, for this. It doesn't really look like her, but the description you get for a bigger, muscular woman, I think it fits perfectly. So I'm going to put this picture on here. And then in Tracy Fox's digital, there's also a page that has a bunch of like criminal words and stuff like that. And there was one that says commit. So I'm going to put the word commit right across the bottom of the picture. Like that. And then I'm going to glue this picture on here. And then I'm going to glue this down. So yeah, I thought that was hilarious that they actually believed that coffee had made this poor woman crazy. And of course the author that's telling the story says, you know, she probably suffered from some kind of psychosis, and the caffeine in the coffee just made it worse. It aggravated it and made her, you know, more angry, more aggressive because of the caffeine levels, but that, you know, it did make her crazy, obviously. All right, and then I'm going to put the newspaper article right here, and I'm going to just put that on with the paper clip, because I want you to be able to see underneath, plus I want you to be able to read the article. But anyway, so that's my coffee story. See, I knew there was a reason I didn't drink coffee. All right, so with that being said, we have our medical record here with her picture that says commit. We have the newspaper article. On the back of here, we have coffee dyed paper, which you can write on. And then I'm going to take this little splatter stamp. Take this paper clip back off for a minute. And I'm going to put some coffee stains on the back. Do ground espresso for that, since she liked such strong coffee. We better make them dark, right? Oh, I hear the thunder coming. I was trying to get my video in before it got too loud. Hello, Belle. Belle's came up to visit. All right, yeah, nice and dark. And then let's put just a couple little splatters here on the front. I'm going to do those lighter. There we go. And then again, now you could use this as a journal card in a journal. You could make it a flip out so that you could flip it out. Either way, you can make it over the page because you could paper clip it. So several different things that you could do. But yeah, I know that's fairly simple, but the content, I think, was too good to pass up and not do something with. So that's that one, guys. So this is Coffee Made Her Insane. And this is my butterfly. And let me grab that book and I'll show you what it looks like in case you want to get a copy. This is it. It's Coffee Made Her Insane and other nuggets from old Minnesota newspapers. And it's really cool. Like I said, it's got all kinds of advertisements and stuff in it that are crazy. Almost all of them are just, which, you know, most of them back then were crazy. They said some really crazy things. And it is from Neighbors Publishing. And this one is copyright 1988. And it's 1840s through 1940s. Okay? And I did not see anything about any copyright restrictions or anything like that. Yeah, I don't see anything like that, but I'm using the original anyway. I mean, I just took that straight out of the book, so I think it'll be alright. So there you go. If you're looking for that, I found it at a used bookstore, so I don't even know if it's in print anymore, and I paid $1.99 for it. So, and it was originally published for, I don't know, normally they have the price printed on them, but I don't see it on this one. Looks like somebody had it in a booth for $6 originally. Yep, I don't know how much, but I'm sure it was more than $1.99. So yeah, that's a good one. Alright, so there you go, guys. Butterfly, Coffee Made Her Insane. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys back. Probably not till Tuesday, unless I make some more progress on the journals that I am starting for this coming week. And so everybody have a great weekend and stay safe, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.